I recently had friends ask, why create another YouTube channel when there's already thousands of them out there and they all do a great job? Quite honestly, I agree. I don't think we need another top 10 list or an Avanox motor review. But I do think there's one set of questions that are missing that we could all benefit from. So today we're going to dive into that and hopefully give some answers to why Seasoned Rider Collective was designed and built. So stay tuned. This one's got some twists. Seasoned Rider Collective, mountain biking over 40. Interesting concept, and quite honestly, we had a viewer ask a question. What happens, what magically happens after you're 40? And to be honest, there's no magic. There's nothing that happens the day you turn 40 or even after. However, you know, as we kind of look at what we'll call seasons each decade, from your teens to your 20s, your 30s, each season represents different challenges for us. When you're in your 20s, you got a lot of time to ride, a lot of opportunity to do hobbies and other things. However, when you get into your 30s, we see that we're working often with relationships, marriages, children, pushing our careers. Sometimes we actually set the bike aside and we don't make time for ourselves to get out on the trail. In our 40s, it's kind of interesting. We see a new challenge, a new problem, a new set of obstacles. You know, this is where often we see parents pass, our friends pass, we see divorces, we see medical conditions, we see a lot of first-time challenges or obstacles that we face. You know, and the interesting part is when we look at the 50 and the 60-year-olds, they've gone through those challenges. They're our teachers. There are people who will give us advice. They're the ones who can help us through our season that we're currently going through. And the design of the collective, or this entire concept, is to build a community to support, help each one of us get through that next season, either through support, through knowledge. There's an opportunity to share those questions and to make sure that each one of us get an opportunity to ride for many years to come. I'll give you one more example. And it's a little bit of an interesting one. You know, if you're in your 20s and 30s and you hear of a mountain biker trying to actually go out and ride when he's 80 years old, the first thing you're going to think is that's ludicrous. It's crazy. Why would any 80-year-old go out and mountain bike? Well, you know, interestingly enough, I just turned 60. And not only is it one of those questions that I now ponder, it's one of the questions I would love to talk to a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old about, to see how I too can be on the trail when I'm 70 and when I'm 80, maybe having fun, ripping it up with all my friends. You know, and the opportunity here is kind of strange. You know, again, those 70 and 80-year-olds are the ones that we can turn to, seek advice from, and have an opportunity to build that community around. You know, and opportunities like this are kind of rare, you know, and that's the reason we're a different type of question. It's not about the review. It's not about the Avanox motor, like I said. And trust me, we'll probably have some reviews and top 10 lists, and we'll probably get into that debate on clipless versus flats. They're all great questions. But, you know, the one question that you do need probably help on is, if I do crash, how do I gain my confidence? If I do have a medical condition, how do I deal with it and get back out on the trail? How do I actually get back after not being on the bike for 20 years? You know, there's a lot of opportunities, you know, and the questions really stem from, you know, modern equipment. E-bikes have allowed us to get back onto the trails and actually return to riding. And it's an opportunity that's just amazing. It's fun. They've created a new type of fun that we should all share in. Anyway, I hope you guys understand the reason behind Seasoned Rider Collective a little bit more. And if it sounds like something you're interested in, check us out. Not only are we on YouTube, we got a Facebook page too. We got a community out there that's building. We'd love for you to be a part of it. You know, thank you for listening, and we'd love to see you out on the trails. Thanks for riding with us.